It's 6:35 a.m. Wow, that loud raggedy car. So so I don't even. Well, I guess I went to sleep at around. It was definitely after 12 o'clock because I was still working on my writings and stuff. But after midnight. So yeah, I think it was about a little after 12:30. I tried to go to sleep, and then that was the worst that they vibrated me. It was the worst that they vibrated me in a long time. And it seems like me coming back to Pensacola from Gulf Breeze, it seems like as if the gang stalking is way. I mean, when I got to Gulf Breeze, I thought, in such a small city, how is the gang stalking worse than Pensacola? But then it simmered down a lot, and then um when I came back to Pensacola, a few days ago, past Friday, I mean, the gang stalking is really, really bad. It's really bad. And so Friday was my first day here, and I didn't know, freaking idiots. I didn't know on Friday that I didn't know on Friday whether or not that guy in the blue F-150, whether he stayed here or not. But all I know is I saw somebody sitting in their car and on their phone. And I was new, so I try to give him the benefit of the doubt and question whether or not he stayed here. And so I also was waiting on my food to be delivered. Well, oh, I remember what I had. But I was waiting on my food to be delivered, and I stepped outside and I had my phone, and he was giving me mean dirty looks. And then he went inside, and he seems like as if he went inside the door, like as if he stays right next to me. So he was giving me mean looks. So he was actually the first, and then the other guy a few doors down, when I smelled the weed that day, also gave me mean, like I want to kill you kind of mean looks. And it's like, these people are strangers, they don't know me, I don't know them. And so he does stay here. So I didn't hear any noise from him until this morning. I was awakened at exactly 6:06 a.m. And so I was startled out of my sleep by that loud thumping. You can tell it sounded, I mean, he was a white guy, and you can tell it sounded like black people's music. And that loud thumping with the bass startled me out of my sleep and woke me up. And then the moment he sat there and waited while thumping and blasting loud music, it wasn't as easy to hear because the heater is on. But it's like he stayed there until I got disgusted and went outside and and put him on film, and you could see that same guy driving off. And then at the beginning of this video, I didn't hear it for the first few days until today. They have a loud raggedy engine. So I was told to be careful out here. And I mean, I just got here and they got people who, giving me mean, dirty looks like they want to fight me and stuff. And you a man. and you're doing this to a black female. But my own race, my own kind do that too. It's people of all races that, due to this gang stalking. And so now I can't even really go back to sleep. So I mean, I'm startled and can't go back to sleep. But if he does this again tomorrow, I'm 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 telling the doggone manager. And cause the, uh, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning, he didn't blast loud music. And then when he pulled up here that Friday, he didn't blast loud music. But I wasn't sure whether or not he stayed here, cause I've seen I mean, it's a coincidence that the instant I step outside, there's a car pulling onto the property, or, um, and it's like just about each and every time I step out this front door, um, there's a car that's pulling onto the property, and I couldn't catch them all. I couldn't catch them all, but I've seen some, cars already, even Friday, and I'm like, damn, I just got here and I'm being heavily gang stalked already. So I mean, I guess once I wasn't working anymore when I was staying in Gulf Breeze. I guess once I wasn't working anymore, they must have toned down the gang stalking. But it started to be really bad, and then they didn't care that they try to the gang stalkers trying to camouflage with the parents picking up their kids, and then some of the parents picking up their kids getting some gang stalking in. You know, why I try to walk into the school building to go eat and go to work and stuff. So excuse me. But yeah, the vibrating was worse last night when I put my earbuds in. I feel the vibrating with more intensity, but then it's not as bad when I take the earbuds off. But then I can hear whatever, I guess you could say, ambient noise around me. So I'm still disturbed. Years later, I'm still disturbed by the former foster mom, Adrian Felder, trying to say I don't have the business or the sense or the mentality to drive, and only mature people with sense drive cars. And so I'm gonna say it. My twin sister's allowed to drive and have a car, and yet she don't want me to drive or have a car. And it's okay for her to drive and have a car, but not me. So and then other biological family members, they drive with alcohol in their system and drive reckless and blast loud music and make me feel unsafe in the car. They drive with alcohol in their system and drive under the influence and make me feel unsafe in the car, and then treat me like they don't trust me to drive. And they've had their share of car accidents, and stuff like that too. Like my niece, hell face ugly Monica, when I heard that she was I heard that she nearly killed a pregnant person that she hit with her car. I mean, and this was years ago. She crashed into another car and the girl that she crashed into was pregnant and nearly died. And my aunt Yvonne, whenever she would drive, if she's supposed to be so highly illiterate, but she has like a perfectly squeaky clean background check. Like sh- there's nothing on her background check, and if she's supposed to be so highly illiterate, but um it was, I mean, she would drive. She used to drive and stay driving with alcohol in her system. But I heard she never got so much as a ticket or never got pulled over or nothing like that. But like, how was she always able to, drive drunk and never get pulled over? But in New Orleans, they pride themselves on feeling like, if you, the only way you can get away with stuff is if you know somebody. And I didn't realize that was part of that Masonic network connection. But me, I don't get away with nothing. Nothing. I'm made to suffer instantly. So, I'm just bothered. And even, as I say, even other professed targeted individuals, act narcissistic and feel like they don't want me to drive or have a car or try to better myself. And it's like, if you in Los Angeles, California, what fuck do you give if I'm in Pensacola, Florida? I mean, I would never drive you in my car, so why should you care? I mean, why should you get your face twisted up and mad and make it like as if you don't want me to drive and you're supposed to be targeted like me? Did you turn into a perp? Because that's narcissistic perp mentality right there. And, I'm going to say you should go fry in hell for telling me something like that. So, and then you narcissistically glorify yourself as a heaven-bound Christian, and you treat me with the same abuse as, the secular worldly narcissistic gang stalkers. And you're supposed to be targeted. You got a whole change of opinion about me. So that's been, bothering me a lot lately too. So, I've been bothered for ever since the beginning of this year. That, I mean, it had been less than 20 days and 5 targets had turned against me. And I'm like, well, this is a bad start for the new year. And so it's like everybody's starting to become like be obsessed control freaks, like obsessed with trying to control others. And I'm an online stranger. I mean, they have somebody who will be all the way in the UK or Australia that try to dictate what I should do. And it's like, why should you care? You're in a whole different country. You don't even have to know me. Leave me alone. I mean, how does my decision in America bother you that you get twisted up and frustrated, and mad at me? So it's like I have a lot of hurt and anger right now, and it's supposed to be that I have to be quote unquote in trouble or quote unquote punished for exposing the truth about narcissistic abuse towards me. You know, so and I'm tired of people being like fake and twisted and wishy washy, and going back and forth with me like as if I'm talking to two people in one body. So um it's like, well, I have a little over $3 in the bank today, and I have probably between $3 and $5 in coins and no paper money today. But then tomorrow I get my social security check, and I mean, whatever that guy did today, I'm gonna end up being. I hope he wouldn't do it tomorrow. So there was another person who was several doors down, and Monday when I walked outside to try to go find dinner to eat, the person had pulled in and backed in a red car. The instant I stepped outside and locked the door to go out and about. But I guess that person actually stays here too. And that person seemed like as if I it seemed like a black gay male or something like that. He was, walking like over, because you know how females actually walk, but he had that over exaggerated, fake feminine gay walk, and was looking at me like I was crazy when I stepped outside, and I try to be discreet around here because me trying to keep down anything, but still needing to expose the truth about my gang stalking anyway. So um and I still have not been able to get a job yet, but I'm hoping I can get back. I mean, get me some more sleep, and I'm not ready to be back on the streets again. And I hate that this was another night of sleep deprivation. I finally was able to go to sleep, I guess, after 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I was able to sleep so good, and then was awakened at exactly 6:06 a.m. And today is February 2nd, 2022. So all those twos, and then this year alone, I mean, and then, oh wow, when it comes to February 22nd, 2022, that will be two sixes right there. So in today's quote unquote Groundhog Day, but um, you know, I don't I believe that this Groundhog Day is just as fictitious as the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. So I used to hate the winter and still do. And I hate the winter, and no matter whether they said it will be 6 weeks of winter or not, in New Orleans growing up, it would still be cold after February 2nd and into March and even April will be kind of cold sometimes. But then, it start to warm up and be nice in May. And then, hotter and warmer in June and July and even hotter in August. And then September start to cool off again. I never did like winter. But then again, it's kind of strange and odd that this winter had a late start. This winter here in Pensacola had a late start, that it will still be hot in December. And then January comes, and that's when you finally start to get weather like in the 30s and even 20s sometimes. So it's I was trying to say last night that it's weird how I'm supposed to be, I have ebooks published, and the gang stalkers think they have the authority to dictate that Candy's not allowed to call herself an author. And then I'm not allowed to get any sales or for even people to read anything for free. And then I'm forced to resort to scrambling around and panicking, looking for that next janitorial or dishwashing job, and they won't even hire me. And then if they do, they have the stage set for workplace mobbing. Who wants to go through that? And I have a bachelor's degree. And I heard that real targeted individuals aren't allowed to, then I heard that the gang stalkers want to keep meticulous track of the target's money, their finances. And so that's why the perps will freak out when I try to do whatever fundraiser or try to ask for help or anything. And they don't want me staying in hotels and motels. They don't want me to try to get a permanent place. They don't want me with a job. And then they say, well, Candy would never try to get back on her feet, or Candy just looking for a handout. When no, my writing is my work. And y'all trying to suppress everything. Because other people, they get to be recognized as valid writers and not me. So, some targeted individuals, it seems like they got some targets that I believe that if they having like a nice ass house and one of those expensive brand new cars and driving around with a deceitful look and smile on their face, bragging about how great God is, and then they got all these videos talking about chosen ones and stay encouraged and stuff like that. When you go look at their channel, they got all those videos talking about stay encouraged, and it's like, where the hell are you targeted at? And then they say that they just laugh at the gang stalkers. And come on, I think you're a fake T.I. perp or a fake target. If you want to, talk about stay encouraged, chosen ones, and stuff like that, and then their asses be promoting New Age and stuff like that, and say that they're Christian. So, they don't. They claim to be targeters, but don't even appear to be suffering. And then they try to say that they don't want to be vulnerable or don't want the world to know their pain. But at the same time, you putting on a fake front like everything's going great. While they got some of us who are really being near murdered. And it's like, I don't even know if the gang stalkers are, if I did or said something that the gang stalkers are super pissed at me right now or angry at me to the point where I'm being harassed again and torture with the directed energy weapons with increased intensity. And I mean, last night they vibrated me bad enough that my organs were hurting. My organs were hurting. So I mean, at least I get to see early morning. But hey, I want to wake up on my own terms. And somebody said, well, it's the same. The sleep deprivation is the same tactics as Nazi Germany. You know, but I never understood why I would get severely attacked for asking questions about the Holocaust or Nazi Germany. And I heard that World War III in the New World Order it's supposed to be a worldwide Holocaust, depopulation, Georgia Guidestones. You know, having over 90% of humanity killed. So, well, I guess I'll go for now. Um, I'm pretty sure I'll probably be back on here later.